This quick video, we're going to take a look at an assisted opening folder from Schrade. It is the SCHA11BS Shizzle, coming up on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. So Schrade has named another knife. I know, that comes as a big surprise. This, in fact, is called the Shizzle. It's the SCHA11BS Magic Assisted Opening Folding Knife. And they're calling this one the Shizzle. That's what it says on their website. I like this the magic mechanism that Schrade came out with for the assisted opening. It's just, I think it's really cool. And without a bunch of further rambling and me flicking this knife open 1,000 times, let's take a look at the details and specs on this knife, and then we'll get to doing some of that nice stuff. Okay, well, here's a closer look at the Schrade SCHA11BS Shizzle Magic Assisted Opening Folder. This knife features a 3.38-inch black drop point serrated blade of AUS-8 high carbon stainless steel with a 4.26-inch aluminum skeleton handle. This knife features Schrade's Magic Assisted Opening with a safety lock, ambidextrous thumb knobs, a lanyard hole, and a reversible tip up or down or left or right hand pocket clip. The overall length of this knife is 7.65 inches and it weighs about 5.5 ounces. Okay, well, that was a little closer look at some of the specs and details on this SCHA11BS or Shizzle Magic Assisted Opening Folder from the folks at Schrade. I got to tell you, I like these Magic Assist. This, by the way, is a liner lock knife. I don't know if I showed you that, but you know, they kind of blur the line between an assisted opening and a automatic. And the way they work is they've either got a lever or a little actuator on the back. If you could focus on that, and then what that does, that actually gets the blade moving. Once it gets moving, the spring takes over and opens up. You can also just use the thumb stud to open it, you know, like so. Works fine. One thing I'm glad to see about this knife is that it is both a tip up or down or reversible left or right hand pocket clip carry. Now, I recognize, some people told me recently, you know, that even though the pocket clip's reversible, you know, the liner lock is still pretty much geared towards a right-hander, although it's not bad to use if you're left-handed, and the safety is definitely geared towards a right-hander. But altogether, still, that's a big step in the right direction, in my opinion, toward making an ambidextrous tool, which is going to fit, be a lot more handy for left or right-handed people. So I like the open architecture. You can see it's got the lanyard hole right here that does not interfere with the blade, so you're not worried about cutting your lanyard. And then it's just really easy to keep clean. You can just, you know, rinse this thing out, blow it out with air or whatever. So it's just going to be a good, solid, all-around EDC style knife that probably for good kind of rough duty. So without much more rambling, let's go ahead and take a look at a little bit of knife stuff with this and wrap it up, because it's getting dark. Imagine that. Okay, so first of all, it's a serrated knife. I think a lot of people don't care for serrations, and for a bushcraft knife, I kind of agree, maybe, but for an EDC or multi-use, kind of general use type knife, I think they can come in really handy. As an example, I've got some paracord here. This is like 4 strands, and show you how well the serrations work. They work really, really well. But what about for more bushcrafty style stuff? Well, let's see, I got a piece of oak here, and let's just see how well these things might carve some feathers. I'm going to try it and see. So they definitely, they do a different style feathers, to be honest with you. And depending on whether you're left or right hand, you're going to get a different effect because of the angle. There's typically ground only on one angle. So I'm going to try this left-handed. I'm not really good with that, but you can get a little bit thinner feathers, I think. If you really want to see somebody who can take the serrations to the limit, check out Magnus Andersson's channel. I'll put a link to that below. But let's just try the, it's got about probably 1.5 inches of fine edge here. Let's just see how well we can do with that. First, let me get some of this gunk out of the way. It's not the best feather wood I've ever seen. It's kind of like oak. And it's not super, super dry. It's only been off the tree for probably about a month. Let's try a different piece of wood here. Here is some poplar. Pretty nice little curls there. Okay, so once again, this is not a bushcraft knife. It's an EDC style type knife. And I got to tell you, the spine is not even close to sharp. There's really no sense in even pretending that you can strike a ferro rod with this. You probably, if you had to, you could use the serrations, but not what it's designed for. However, to show you that it will get some curls going, which are capable of being turned into fire. I've got a regular ferro rod here with a striker. Let's see what we can do with this. Finally. So, decent job on the carving. Okay, well that is just a little bit of knife stuff with the Schrade SCHA11BS Shizzle assisted opening folder. Again, AUS-8 steel, black aluminum handles, and the magic assisted opening mechanism from Schrade. I kind of, I can do that all day long, that. You've seen me do it probably more than you would care to, but again, some of the things I like about this knife are it's got the completely ambidextrous and reversible tip up, tip down pocket clip. You know me, I like tip up primarily. I think that just seems to make sense. It's also a very low profile pocket clip. You can look at this and it sits really, really low in your pocket. Whether tip up or tip down, there's little tracks that the tip down, tip up position will put the clip in. Wow, that was not nearly as hard to say as I made it out to be. So I don't even know if you can see this, but I just want to give you a close-up of the way this assisted opening works. So what it is, it's got this little button on back that slides in a very small track inside the handle. When you push that button, okay, it starts the knife moving. Once the knife starts moving, the spring takes over. Now if you look at that, if you can see that in there, that button is not really connected to the blade at all. It's on a little lever inside there, I guess, that just gives you something to get the blade moving if you don't want to use the thumb studs. That's what makes this an assisted opening, not an automatic. Although, again, I'm telling you, that line is blurred. So anyway, I gotta say, no surprise, I like this knife. I like the magic system. I like the aluminum handles, really solid. As non-smooth as it looks, how's that for a word, non-smooth? When I was doing a lot of carving, there was really no discomfort whatsoever. Again, it's not a bushcraft knife. It's just kind of something to stick in your pocket or on your pack and have with you in case you need a good blade to do everyday type stuff. So if you're looking for a good EDC style knife, it's got the smooth magic action and the reversible, very movable pocket clip. You might want to check out the Schrade SCHA11BS Shizzle from the folks at Schrade. Once again, thanks to the folks at Schrade for sending me this so I can show it to you. Thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing, for clicking that thumbs up, for sharing this video with all your friends, watching all those ads, and thanks for doing all your Amazon shopping through the Survival on Purpose links. I really appreciate the support. Once again, my name is Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident. So be prepared. See you next time. It's finally getting cold enough that the mosquitoes are not bothering me today, so I like the way this one goes. Kind of modern or whatever. So I'm here in the old wild woods of the backyard. Today I had zero comfort. Space age